haven't forgotten what Hunter Biden did. We haven't forgotten that Joe Biden bragged about covering for him, basically. We haven't forgotten Jussie Smollett and his hate crime against MAGA people. We haven't forgotten these things, but the Democrats and mainstream media would have you forget it all. They're talking nonstop, 100% about the pandemic. What they're not talking about is more important than what they are talking about. Sure, there will be problems from the pandemic, major problems, specifically to the livelihoods of American citizens. A lot of people are out of work. A lot of people have empty refrigerators as of now. A lot of people don't get to make a little extra cash on the side waiting tables. A lot of people. I'm talking about a large majority of workers in this country. Not everybody has a $24,000 refrigerator to put thousands of dollars worth of ice cream in it. And then to go on national TV like Nancy Pelosi and brag about it when everybody else is wondering where their next meal is going to come from. That's why I think that these people should not be forgotten. They should be remembered when we go vote. What do you think about this mail-in vote that the Democrats are pushing for? I don't trust it. It's just like voter harvesting. And it's just like every other way that they've sought to deceive the election system. They've done it. I know that California's doing it because when Hillary says she won by 2 million votes, it's funny, they all came from California and New York. That's not a coincidence. They have never been honest and they have always cheated. They just want a new way to cheat. And this mail-in voting thing is just a lazier way for them to cheat. Because voter harvesting has been going on. They have found dozens upon dozens of thousands of votes in Florida as well that were basically harvested from people who are actually dead using their Social Security numbers. And they're doing things like messing with the ballots, like the lady who was caught in Chicago. And then there's the lady who was caught in Florida. And both of them are Democrats. It's no accident. But we haven't forgotten these things. But they would like us to. They want us to all be talking about this pandemic. And yes, it is terrible. It is worldwide. I do not for one second think this organically happened. I do not for one second believe the reports that this somehow accidentally got out of a lab. Because how did it get into the lab in the first place? Was it concocted in the lab? Coronavirus? Maybe. It's a very strong possibility. I mean, several companies owned by Gates and Soros own patents to certain viruses. Who needs a patent for a virus unless you plan on doing something with it? That's pretty obvious. But they want us to forget and ignore the obvious. And they're doing a bang-up job at it, too. You can't turn on the television without hearing about this coronavirus. You cannot. And if they're not complaining about the virus and speculation and trying to get people even more fearful, they're also, of course, trashing Trump. Because that's kind of their, I don't know, every news story that you'll see on ABC, CBS, and MSNBC goes through a filter of I hate Trump filter. And somehow everything has to be blamed on that man. when nothing could be further from the truth. He's probably the only multimillionaire who is not making money off of this pandemic. He's probably the only multi-billionaire that is not making money from it. In fact, he's probably taking a loss. So I ask you, why aren't people like Soros and Bill Gates in jail? How are they not in jail? For all the tampering that they've done in the voting, for all of that, how are they not in jail? George Soros has purchased, literally, DAs all across this land. He gave them money for their campaigns, an excessive amount. Why would somebody who doesn't even live there give their money to a DA in Podunk, Arizona? Why would that be necessary? Because it is strategic. It's pretty obvious. I mean, they want us to be blind sheep, literally. They want us to pretend everything went away when this pandemic came. Hunter Biden, the fact that he got $1 billion deal and earned, I think, over $1 million of his own personal finances from China. Not just the Chinese or a specific company, from China. He was working over in Ukraine for an energy company, an oil company, if you will. His father, how can they say that his father is absolved from any consequence for this action that was so corrupt? Joe Biden is so corrupt. With Joe Biden, you get a double whammy. You got corrupt and you got mentally ill. And they want us to forget that too. And then all the while, ABC is complaining, Joe Biden isn't getting enough television time. They don't really want him to have television time. Trust and believe. If he had more television time, we would truly know how demented he already is. They don't want him on television for more than 5 seconds. Do you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Joe Biden debating Donald Trump. Can you imagine? It's almost too vast of a difference. You would think, because he would be slaughtered. He would be slaughtered in a debate. And it would make Donald Trump look like a bully, because who picks on a little old guy who's got dementia so badly? Donald Trump doesn't lose. He's not in this to lose. So he's got to debate them. Unless Joe Biden conveniently gets coronavirus right before the debate, then he'll be a pity figure. Because they do want a martyr. The Democrats love a martyr. They hang on to a martyr. Meanwhile, they're preparing someone else to do the job just in case they win. I mean, they're going to have to win by more than the 2 million votes. And all of a sudden, isn't it strange also, because I noticed this, at the beginning they were saying, this was only 3 years ago, they were saying out loud, Hillary won by popular vote, 2 million votes, 2 million votes. They said it over and over and over. Now, the number has grown to 3 million. Where did these extra 3 million people come from? They don't exist. It's all fabricated. It's all manufactured. It's all been done before. So as we wait for November to roll around, pay attention to what we're not seeing. Pay attention to those who are not being brought to justice. I'd love to see what Hillary's up to right now. She should be brought to justice. That entire Clinton Foundation should be brought to justice. That Clinton Foundation was a slush fund, and everybody knows it. She got donations from foreign people. Why? because foreign people wanted her to do them a favor if she got elected. And there were actually polls that said there was a 97 percentile chance of her being elected. That's why she paid for all of those fireworks. She was going to have a firework display in New York. Something made her cancel that right before, like the day before the election. Maybe the fake numbers that they were giving her were starting to make her think about it, because we were all lied to. It's part and parcel of what the Democratic Party does. And they are counting on the ignorance of others. I think I said the other day that on The View, Sunny Hostin said, she brings everything back to either I hate Trump or black. It's always race. Race. I happen to think I'm blacker than her, but okay. Anyways, it's always something about race with her. And so she was saying, well, Joe Biden's really going to need the black female vote. What the hell does that mean? I'm black, I'm female. I'm definitely not voting for Joe Biden. He's not even he's not even on my map of anybody I would even consider. I wouldn't vote for Joe Biden to be a dog catcher. Wouldn't do that. No, I won't. He's not qualified for just about anything right now. He's qualified for retirement. And there's no shame in retirement. I'm just saying, he's not qualified for anything right now. And they're pushing him. Wow. They got to think we are the dumbest people in the world. They got to think black women are the dumbest people in the world. If they think that the black female vote is a one monolithic vote, like we don't have a mind of our own, we don't have any affiliation towards any kind of common sense. But to me, it is a nightmare to think that there's still a whole bunch of people out there who thinks the world is that way, and it simply isn't. Not everybody lives in New York and Florida and California. There's a whole middle of the country. There's entire towns that doesn't even have a black person in it. I mean, the whole country does not have those demographics. Yet they say, they complain time and time again that the people who are running when they have the two white men don't represent this country. Well, in their worldview, certainly, because they're probably surrounded by people of multi-ethnicities. However, most of the country just isn't that. Black people make up only 13.8% as of the last consensus or whatever the thing. 13.8%. But yet, if you look at the news, I think 4 out of 5 people on CNN are black. That doesn't represent America, but they think that, the primaries didn't represent America well enough. Well, America is just not what they say it is. The fact that we're only 13.8% and we actually had a black president, he's not my favorite. Obama was probably, he's right up there as far as the 2 worst presidents, Obama and let's see, Jimmy Carter, Clinton. I don't know which one, but he's in that group as far as badness of presidencies go. So I just have to wonder, what is their plan? They've got something set up, and we better keep our eyes on them, because they're a sneaky bunch of snakes. And they're looking forward to a way to cheat, and they really want this mail-in ballot thing, which I don't trust for anything. I mean, I will show up to that voting booth if I have to dress like a surgeon or a spaceman. I'm going to show up, and they better take my vote. I wish I could be like a Democrat and maybe vote twice, in 2 different areas. But, that's actually happening in some parts. I've heard of it. I've seen it. People have actually been convicted of it. You don't hear a lot about it on the news because they're Democrats. But it's happening.